Good morning and happy Monday. So today I wanted to pop in and do a quick let's talk for a few minutes with Dr. Tanya because I wanted to talk specifically to parents who have kids who are away in school at college or university, okay? So I'll be the first one to admit to you that that was not an easy task for me. I have one boy and he is mama's baby, and I was devastated when he left to go away to go to college. However, um, raising army brats and military brats as we have done, it's very hard. And I had major challenges with my husband, going back and forth with, hey, let him, he got to learn to be a man. And, da, 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 da. And I'm like, no, that's mama, baby. It ain't going to happen. So anyway, I just want to express to parents the importance of supporting your scholars while they are away in school, and some of the challenges and things that I went through personally or whatever, and that I have learned from. My son will be marching across that beautiful stage at North Carolina A&T State University on December the 14th, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited, and I am so proud of him. So anyway, a few things that I wanted to just kind of highlight a little bit about helping our kids be independent and setting them up for success when they move away from home and go off to school, okay? So one, encourage their independence. And I know it's tough for mama bears, but we do have to start encouraging their independence as early as possible, because if they decide that they're going to move away from home, we want them to not be so green, when they go, and we want them to be able to develop, their own sense of independence. So, that kind of, entails allowing them to kind of make certain decisions. We help them manage some decisions and stuff like that, helping them manage and, maintain their schedules and kind of getting to their own type of way to solve problems, right? And just offer them guidance as they go along, because we always have to be there to kind of be that guiding light for our kids. Now, I'll be honest, my son's freshman year at A&T, I could not let him manage a thing because he was all over the place. But I give him grace, because when he did start college, it was in 2020 and it was in the midst of the pandemic. So in hindsight, I probably would have kept him home that first year and just kind of, started, kind of mildly moving him into that situation. But anyway, it has helped him, drastically. And he has really, really grown up and developed, through that process. So the second thing is staying connected without over communicating. So one of the things that I suggest is, and I had gotten to the thing where I was used to hearing from him every day. Well, it took me about 3 years. Like his junior year, I was like, okay, well, maybe every other day or something like that. But anyway, staying in communication and communicating without over communicating. So, give them, regular communication is good, but give them a sense that they have their own space, right? So set some expectations about, when and how you're going to communicate, and how often. So like if it's, not an everyday thing, okay, make sure you reach out and call mama on Sundays, or, you have your Saturdays, or whatever day of the week that works best for your, both of your schedules. But have a day and specify what that day is going to be, and let that be your day of communication. And then talk about finances. So when we talk about, discussing finances, be clear about what the financial expectations are. Make sure your scholars understand that if they are receiving student financial aid, particularly loans, whether they're unsub or sub, they have to be repaid. So setting some expectations about that. Also setting expectations about the cost of books and housing and tuition and fees, because sometimes these kids be feeling like this money is falling off a tree, and it really is not, okay? This is the time to teach your scholar about budgeting and encouraging them to track their expenses. So even in college, teaching them to learn to budget and start budgeting early, which personally and professionally, I think that should start early on, as young as they are conceptually able to understand, money, the value of money, and that if you want certain things above the needs, then you have to save. And, giving chores where they can earn an allowance, because kids appreciate that more than than us just handing them over stuff. But getting them now, if they have bank accounts, they have apps on phones now that can help, track expenses and things like that. Setting them up, a checking account, that you can kind of monitor and help control a little bit, but that gets them in the habit of paying for their own expenses or involving and engaging in certain monetary transactions and in the processes of those things. And so encouraging and keeping them on track now early on will help them as they grow into their adulthood. And so it won't be such a shock when, they have to get accustomed to paying bills or, being coordinated, on each month, paying things timely and stuff like that. So the fourth thing I want to talk about is emotional support. So as much as, as much as we are moms and parents or big sisters and big brothers, we need to make sure that we remember that going away to college can be an overwhelming process in and of itself. First time away from home, you don't have your parents or your family members there. Now you have dorm mates or suite mates and things like that. So just making sure that your child knows that you are there, and encouraging them to seek help. These universities and colleges and institutions now, some of them have excellent emotional and physical support services. Now, I will tell you, North Carolina A&T, they might have some janky dorms, but they got a awesome health facility. They even have massage therapy. Like, the kids can go there and get massages, baby. Okay. So they have not skimped on the cost of emotional, physical and emotional therapy services at North Carolina A&T, yeah. And I know a lot of them gonna need some after this past weekend at GHO. But anyway, I hope my son ain't one of them. I just talked to him this morning. He seemed to be all right. So let's keep it pushing. Encourage them to get emotional support, not to be afraid of it, not to be afraid to speak up if they're feeling a certain type of way. If they're not comfortable reaching out to you as the parent or family member, reach out to your school. There are professionals that are there to help them. Also, promoting time management skills. So number 5, promoting time management skills. Now, I don't know about some of y'all, but my son, it's right now. Baby, did you study for your final? No, I looked over it this morning, but the test is this afternoon. But if you know your child has a special gift or they're kind of gifted academically, sometimes they can get a pass on that. My son doesn't have to study for a thing. He didn't study in high school either. He graduated with a 3.8 GPA. So, yeah. And right now he's holding good and steady on a 3.2 at A&T. So, all right, boy, go ahead and get it. But promoting time management skills. So they're having to, a lot of times kids have to juggle academic responsibilities with work and, and trying to have a fine balance of a social life. So encouraging them to use calendars and use apps to kind of help manage their time efficiency is very important. So I've done that with mine, and I live by a calendar. Like, if I lose my phone, my life is over, because I ain't gonna know what's going on. Okay, if I lose my phone, somebody come look for me. Okay, look for me, look for the phone or something, because that's just, I don't know, maybe that's not a good thing. But anyway, I'm very dependent on it. But encourage your kids and help them learn to, efficient time management skills, because that is going to be very important to their academic success. Okay, getting to class on time. Let's start with that. Number 6, encourage academic responsibilities. So, okay. We can't attend class for them. We can't necessarily do their homework for them and stuff like that. But we can encourage and support them by making sure that they know the importance of going to office hours with your professors. Sometimes you might not necessarily be struggling with something, but Let your professor see you. Let them know who you are. When I was an undergrad student at North Carolina State University, baby, them professors didn't know me, honey. They didn't know me from a can of paint. I think in my Chem 105 lecture, I was maybe like number 200 and something. Those TAs came up that hall up there. We were in like stadium seating, theater seating or whatever. They didn't know us by name like that. So, it's a little bit different nowadays, especially in certain institutions. But make sure your kids take advantage of office hours and make sure that they join study groups and, become a part of, different organizations. And they don't have to do a lot, but do enough that you learn to navigate, college life, and, you can develop some type of a camaraderie, that they can develop some type of a camaraderie with other students, be it in their, their programmatic area or in their dorm life and things like that. That's important. A good balance is going to be important to them being successful. Number 7, discussing health and wellness. Okay, this is a big one because now, when we say health and wellness, the first thing you think of is like, oh man, don't go away to college and, catch nothing. Or, with men, boy, I sent you away to school with, a pack of, condoms or whatever. Well, we're also talking about sleep, getting health and wellness, sleep, exercise, developing a proper nutrition, encouraging them to visit, campus and, the health center, for all of their mental and physical health needs. There's no shame in that. If they're not able to come home, annually and get their annual physicals and things like that, encourage them to go on campus and get regular checkups. And, if they're not feeling good, don't ignore pains, the signs that something are wrong, that something is wrong. Pain, blood, and breathing. So if they're having any of those issues, tell them, make sure they go to their health facility or they go to their nearest emergency room. Okay. But do not ignore signs that something is wrong, either with their mental health or their physical health. Also, here's another big one for parents, especially mama bears, respecting their social life. So college involves meeting new people and engaging in social activities. So sometimes we have to kind of step out on faith and trust their judgment that they're going to associate and develop relationships with the right kind of people. And, so make sure we just kind of respect their social life, give them their time, let them develop their own opinions about things. I would be devastated if my daughter decided to go with another Greek way other than the way. But if she does decide to do that, or if she did when she was in college, which she didn't. But for my son, go with what kind of aligns with who you are, right? So I don't see my son hopping and jumping around like his uncles, Uncle Craig and Uncle Britt, and some of his other Omega uncles, and Uncle Keith, and I don't see him doing it. He was like, Mama, that's just not me, jumping around barking. But I mean, he kind of a smooth operator, so it might be a little something else. He might want do something else like Uncle Andre, or his cousin, kind of slow, shimmy. But anyway, encourage them to, do that. Give them the space to, have a social life and respect their social choices. So that's another one. Okay. Number 9, prepare for change. So, that's another one. Like now, like when he comes home, it's like, it's not like, oh, my baby's home or whatever. It's just like, hey man, because he's grown. He's a grown man. So just your relationship will evolve with your child, male or female, and just kind of respecting, the changes, them being more independent, developing new interests. Even if it came down to them changing their major or changing what their career goals are, or wanting to change the trajectory that they once had for their lives, we have to respect that, and we have to allow them the room to make those changes, as they see fit for them. And the last thing, number 10, for for your children is making sure that they know their campus resources, knowing what their campus resources are, what's available to them, and then where to go to utilize those resources. Very, very, very big. And just kind of always remind them, hey, you have this or you have that that's available to you here, at A&T or at UGA or wherever they are. Reminding them, hey, this is a part of what those tuition and fee dollars pay for. So don't be afraid or ashamed to utilize those resources. So that's it for today. I hope this information was helpful, and I wish you and your academic scholar much success, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.